I'm talking to myself right now, so I'm gonna wait till somebody else comes on here, so I'm not just talking to myself. But if you're new to my content, please go ahead and do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe button. I'm traveling all over Ohio to tell people about Mastermind Cannabis, and decided to take you along on my journey. So go ahead and smash that like subscribe button, and I'll give you a view of my road trip here. It's pretty cloudy today. Temperature in Columbus, Ohio is 45 degrees. I'm about 2 hours away from Cleveland. So we got one like. That's good. One like and no watchers. That's kind of wild. Let me see something here. Live chat. Okay. Y'all watching there? No. Welcome to the live chat. Okay, yeah. I don't know. I can't see y'all's comments for some reason. If you're there, say something. Say hello. Okay, it's working. All right, yeah. Now at least I know I got 2 people in the car with 3 people in the car with me. Not sure why I'm getting so much shaking right now. It kind of bothers me, but I try to do the best I can with it. It seems weird. Normally I don't get this much shaking, rattling, and rolling. Something with the I got brand new tires, so it's just so bumpy old Ohio roads. All the roads are just bumpy. It's trying to rain. Even my other mount that I have, everything's rattling, and that one too. This is like everything's rattling. It's weird. I don't like rattling. Yeah, that's better, but that's only because I'm holding. Everything else is just shaking. What y'all medicating on today? Try to do this. So we got 5 people watching it now. We're on our way to the landing in Cleveland, Ohio. We're 2 hours and 2 minutes away. Driving from Columbus, Ohio. We're going to be at the landing, Cleveland, from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. today. And then the last part of my tour for the Firelands is going to be ending in Huron tomorrow from 12 to 3. So a little bit different time for the Huron location. Yo, what's up, Yuma Effect? How are you doing today? Medicating on. Another gloomy day in Ohio. This gloomy weather. Now, I just want to let everybody know that there was an issue with our Ohio Cannabis Expo website where when you would search it, it would tell you that there were no tickets for sale. And that was a system problem that we fixed it today. So if you've been trying to buy tickets on our website, OhioCannabisExpo.com, for the Ohio Cannabis Expo, the issue is now resolved, and you know it should take you right. If you search it, you should take it right to where you can buy the tickets. Tickets are on sale right now. Tickets are $15 each. Okay, if you buy it for 2 days, the ticket will be $5 cheaper. You get 2 for $25. So yeah, we're doing this thing. It's not no ifs and maybes. I know someone supposedly made some rumor up that said that we was gonna change the venue or we wasn't gonna have it at all, but those are all rumors that weren't true. Ohio Cannabis Expo is 100% happening on May 3rd and May 4th at the Embassy Suites in Canton, Ohio, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on both days. And at the expo, we're going to have some different vendors there. Some of them are going to have stuff for sale, and some of them will just be, looking to network and have, information about their company. And we're also going to have some discussion panels. One of those panels is going to be kind of like a wellness panel. And in that panel, we're going to be talking about the benefits of using cannabis for cancer, chronic pain, and for opiate use disorder. So that'll definitely be a good panel. The panel is going to be led by Dr. Bridget Cole-Williams. And she has her company is called the Blossom Bar. So the Blossom Bar going to be there. I don't know if any of y'all hip to the Blossom Bar, but they nationwide. They know nationwide. So look them up on Instagram. Follow them, the Blossom Bar. We've got some other companies there. So we're going to have a variety of things there. I'm not going to list all the things that will be there at this event, but I'm just telling you that when you come there, you will be able to buy things. I can't tell you there's going to be an ATM there because I'm not sure if there's one there, probably, but maybe not. So bring your money with you. I'm not sure people will be accepting credit card or debit cards, so bring cash if you can. That's probably your best bet anyway. But there will be some people there that will be selling clothes. It'll be some people there that have some, artsy type, arts and crafts type things. Hopefully you have some different cannabis accessories there. I will say that. So I'm trying to get a variety of things there, not just one particular thing. When I started showing you who the vendors are, you'll be able to kind of figure out some of the stuff they got. But one thing I can say to you, but we won't have anything there that's illegal. We won't have anything there that, like any homemade edibles or anything like that. So we won't be having anything like that. Anything that we'll have there will be, 100% legal and compliant with all laws. That's a fact. So we're not doing nothing that would be against any rules. I'm saying that out loud because the sheriff is driving past me right now. Alright. But yeah, what I need from you all is to spread the word about the Ohio Cannabis Expo. Space will be limited. We can hold about 400 people maybe. So once them tickets start really selling, if you're really coming, you better get your ticket now. Don't wait. And like I said, we done already locked everything in, so nothing's changing. We got a signed contract for our venue, so once you sign the contract, it's really pretty much no turning back at that point. There'll be plenty of parking there because you just park in the hotel's parking lot. So address the parking. So you just park at the hotel. It's a pretty decent sized parking lot. It's a pretty decent sized area around the hotel. Around the hotel, there is the Hall of Fame Village. It's 5 minutes away, which is very interesting. There's also an Air Force Museum, and there's also a zoo about 30 minutes away, I'm told. So there are some things nearby, and it's also very close to the airport. So if you're flying in from somewhere, then you could fly into the airport there and fly back out and not have to drive at all. Not that I don't know. People just think people in Ohio are going to come to an Ohio Expo, but people from all over the country could show up at the Ohio Cannabis Expo. You never know. I mean, you wouldn't believe it, but I know that this streams get watched all over the world. I've seen people watching my video in every country you could possibly name. Even the ones that you hear on the news all the time. Russia, China, Ukraine, Germany, France, the UK. We got watchers all over the world watching Ohio Cannabis Live. So it's not just, it seems like it's just Ohio, but it's really not. Hey, how you doing there? Yeah, I'm not sure. I saw them advertising something about that, PuffCon. There's a lot of people that are, hosting events, especially in April. There's the 420 events, 420 block party, the 420 farmers market, all that stuff's happening. And so, depending on what type of event that you're trying to go to, whether you're interested in a shopping type event or more of a social event, let's say, there's going to be something out there for you this year. And I encourage you to get out if the weather is good, and enjoy some of this new stuff that we'll be doing that we couldn't do before. And these trees are something, aren't they? They're pretty nice scenery now coming this way. I thought they would be kind of destroyed from the storm, but apparently not. So yeah, right now I'm on the north side of Columbus, Ohio, and we're getting ready to change highways here. And I'm just keeping my eyes on the road, y'all. Keep my eyes on the road. Got my seatbelt on. And do me a favor, if you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. My moderators are probably busy right now. The Sesh, huh? Yeah, that's a great name, isn't it? Yep. So I got my sway bar links fixed on my car, so it's riding a lot better. It's a lot quieter. It was driving me crazy. I'd be talking to everyone and all this noise. You couldn't hear it, but I was hearing it, and I had to get that fixed. It driving me crazy. Pull up on you in Cleveland. What's up, Bobby? Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I'm going to be at the landing from 3 to 6. And then I got to turn around. Well, I tell you what. Here's the thing. If anybody want to link up for dinner, I'm down to link up at a Cleveland restaurant for a dinner party. If y'all want to link up and have dinner in Cleveland, meet me there. We could do something like that today. But it got to be close to where I'm going to be staying at. It can't be like all the way across town or anything like that. But I need y'all to find me some deals too, man. I need some stuff. I need some medications. So I need y'all to look on there and see what you can find, if there's any good deals to be had up there. Because I know, like, Cleveland, man, they'll be charging a lot more than they do in Columbus. So, like, keep an eye out for them deals. And, you know, send me some information at info@ohiocannabislive.com. Anytime when you send me some information, don't put it in the comments. Always email it to me, simply because it's very difficult for me to go back in the comments and find that information. And sometimes we might miss it. So always remember, my address is info@ohiocannabislive.com. You can also just go to ohiocannabislive.com and just send me a message there, and I'll get it that way as well. You don't have to sign up to the site or anything, but you should sign up to the site. I see we got 13 viewers right now. You said Amplify got the best deals. Yeah. What's everybody's favorite strain right now? What's your favorite strain? I don't care whether it's a medical strain or just one you like. Tell me in the comment what your favorite strain is. I want to know how the weather is in your area. And if you live in the Cleveland area, I would like for you to email me any of your suggestions on any good restaurants in the Cleveland area that are near the Landing dispensary you think I might need to check out. I can't remember exactly right now where my hotel is because I'm driving. I'm passing the Polaris area. And oh, did you all see my new Mastermind shirt? I'm wearing it. I love that logo. They messed up my hat though. The hat looks horrible. I dare not post a picture of it on the internet. Everybody's gonna laugh at me. It is the most ugliest hat I've ever seen. I'm gonna call the company to make the hat, and I'm gonna tell them to give my money back, because it's like an adult made my shirt and a kid made my hat, man. It looks horrible. It looks so washed. I can't describe how horrible it looks. Now my good buddy James made this hat, and it looks great. If you want one of these, special order. They will be available for sale on the website, but they're special order, so it'll take you a little while to get them, but it'll be a little bit cheaper than our other hats, because it's custom made. You know, it's my guy making them, but it's still custom. And we got some other custom made stuff coming that'll be, you know, more or less made right here in Columbus, Ohio. But it may cost a little bit more for us to send it to you because we have to ship it to you. See, we only got 6 watchers right now. Make sure you share the video with your friends. Tell them that, you know, this guy goes on a road trip, checks out all these dispensaries, figures out what's going on. I mean, you see the road, Ohio, this is what it is. I got brand new struts on the back, and it looks like I'm, you know, and you can see the road. It's horrible. It's not my car, it's the road. And, you know, another thing, these phones are so heavy, like top heavy, so they kind of, every bouncing I'm getting is kind of just making everything vibrate. I don't know why. I normally don't have this much vibration in my mounts, but it's like no matter how I mount it, if I mount it to the dash, then every bump that hits the dash makes the phone bump. And then if I mount it to this, it normally does really well. So I don't know why it's so shaky right now. It kind of makes me mad. Yeah. It's something weird with it. I'm gonna rig something up here in just a second, because you know I just don't like it. So now it's time for me to do some MacGyver stuff. Think outside of the box. There we go. That's much better until my phone slides off the dash, right? These mounts are terrible, man. It's like for some reason they're just not working the way they're supposed to. So I'm trying to figure out what to do here. Let's see. Back up here for a second. It bounces too much, man. I'm gonna fix it out because I'm MacGyver stuff all the time. There's always a fix. But really, the fix is just the road. You know, you just need to fix the road. That's all it is. A pimp's paradise. TACA flower. I mean, great question to ask. Let's talk about it a little bit. TACA, you know, THC, you know, it's really just, you know, all about the chemical process when you add heat to it. So, I mean, people try to make it seem like TACA is something new when it's really just you smoking flower, man. It's not nothing new. It's the same. It's still weed. We can call it CBD. We can call it THCO, XYZ. We can call it all this different shit. Still at the end of the day, weed grows out of damn in your house and wherever else you're growing it at. It's just weed, man. We're gonna make all these different determinations about it when at the end of the day it all burns the same. It's either good or bad, and we gotta stop giving it so many labels. Let's just say it's weed, man. You know, you start talking about Delta 8, for example, people get weird in their feelings, and you know, Delta 8 been around long before we all started talking about it. It was always there. It's not new. It's new in the world of people making money off of it, but as far as before that, most people wasn't even thinking about Delta 8, and everybody think, oh, well, I can get Delta 8 and it's just as good as Delta 9 and all that. And realistically speaking, I mean, it's really not much different. It's really both of them gonna hit. Both of them gonna put you to sleep if it's some good stuff. If it's trash, it's trash. It don't matter whether it's D8, D9, D10, or if it's trash, it's trash. You know, that's where we are. We gotta stop getting ourselves wrapped up in all these dang on labels. Because 20 years ago, you wasn't walking around asking somebody, "Hey man, you got any D8? You guys got any D8? I need some of that D8." 20 years ago, you were just buying whatever you could get. You didn't question what it was. Heck, you probably didn't even question how much it weighed either. So now all of a sudden, everybody's so worried about whether it's a 3.5 or a 2.8 or, you know, whether it's this 9 or D9. I mean, we just wasting our time on these things. What really matters is, what does it do? How does it taste? How does it smell? How does it make you feel? That's what really matters. None of that other stuff matters. If it don't make you feel right, if it don't taste right, it don't hit right. You could have told me it was grown by the president himself. I still would tell you it's trash. If it is not good, and you know, sometimes you just want to be nice people and make them feel good, tell them it's great when you know it's garbage. And you know, I know first couple times I pull out some buds off my stuff, you know, I'm not expecting it to be the most best bud ever, because I'm just now rehoming my whole craft. And, you know, I'm going to have to readjust to growing in the tent. And so, you know, when you're trying to do all these things at once, man, like you're like growing the tent. Before I knew it, man, I started out, I had 3 plants, and that seemed cool. But then I thought, well, what if they die? So I started 3 more plants, and I was like, okay. And then I started one other one, and I thought the other one died, but it didn't die, and then it survived. So then I ended up with 6, and I said, oh man, we started a couple more. Next thing you know, my girl's got hers, I've got mine. Now we're at the freaking limit. Got 12 plants. 12 plants per household. That's the rule. So that's what we got. So, you know, everybody's gonna get themselves in a situation sooner or later where you've got too many plants, too much weed, and I don't know. There has to be a solution of what to do with all that extra stuff. Like, you know, at some point we're all just gonna be sitting there like, man, now I've got more stuff than I want to deal with, and now it's piled up in my closet or piled up in the cat. I mean, you know, I have no desire in you know, just peddling stuff in places. I want to open a dispensary and be able to sell stuff at the dispensary, and I want to have my own grow site. So I ain't interested in just indefinitely growing stuff in my tent. That's definitely not my vision. You know, I'm growing in a tent because I want to learn, and I want other people to learn too. That's why I'm growing my tent. But we got so many things to do. Expo, and Mastermind Cannabis. There's a lot of stuff to keep track of all the time. Okay, that's super cool, man. I would love to see some pictures of what it looks like in Hawaii. That sounds so cool. Send me some pictures at info@OhioCannabisLive.com. I would love to share some pictures from Hawaii or Aloha. Did I say that right? What's the name? Looney Productions. Okay. Okay, yeah. Send me some pictures. I would love those pictures. We got to get you on the show. That would be awesome. Would you come on the show and do a live stream and show us some of your plants? Would you be willing to do that? I think that would be really cool if you're down for it. That would be super cool. That's what's up. Let's do it. Yeah, shoot me an email, info@OhioCannabisLive.com. Let's get something scheduled up, and you know, I'll follow you on your channel as well. Oh, you did? Okay, all right, all right. All right. I remember now. Well, you know I'm talking to, and everybody got all these different screen names. I'll be trying to keep track. We're currently an hour and 40 minutes away from Cleveland. Again, I just hold on, y'all. Okay, okay. All right. Yeah, I remember that now. I definitely remember. Thanks for tuning in. I definitely remember that encounter. It's it's those type of encounters that make doing this stuff really worth it. When you meet people and see people uh, that you either watched your video or you meet them at the dispensary and then they watch a video. That's definitely how you connect with people in real time, and do. And it is a little bit of a job, driving all these places, sitting in places. I just had an idea how to stop the shaking and try it out. Ah, I got it. That's better. That's a lot better. It's still shaking, but at least it's not as bad. Yeah. I don't know why we're having such vibrations. I think it's just the road. But that's definitely much better. Even though it's still a lot of jittery. Okay. Yeah, that's true. You do meet a lot of people who are doing YouTube. I definitely have some other people that I met who either are on YouTube or on Instagram, and I try to get on Instagram too. Hey, cheers to you. Where you at? Where you from, Big Daddy? Where's everybody at, man? Let me get a location check. We got 20 viewers on here. We only got 6 likes, man. Everybody hit that like button. Like, we got an issue. We only got 6 likes, man. Something's wrong with this counter. It's broke. We should have like 100 likes and 1,000 views, man. We got to push up. Oh wow. Okay, so something really interesting. So my other phone is doing my navigation, and it was like there's an object in the road, and it was absolutely correct. There was a piece of shrapnel metal in the road, and it saw it somehow through the clouds from space. Somehow it was able to realize there's something in the road, because as it's looking down on the road, it notices the object ain't moving. So then it becomes something in the road because it ain't moving. The way it can figure out the cops are on the road is because it's looking at the cop sitting there. Everything else on the road is moving but the cop. That's how the satellites can figure out where the cops are, because they're the only thing not moving on the side of the road. And the only thing parked in the same weird spot, parallel parked in the middle of the road. They're gonna stand out on the GPS. Now, I know even Google's to the point now you could actually, like from your house, you could plan out somewhere you're going, and it'll show you where the cops are currently at on the road now. I thought, wow, man, they really done come a long way. I remember Google Maps used to have us going all kind of wrong directions. It was horrible. You'd be somewhere else. You'd be in a whole nother area, another state. You end up almost in Canada. Your GPS be done gave you the wrong information. So yeah, it's come a long way. Okay, Findlay, Ohio. All right. Okay, you starting a growing channel? Okay. What's the name of it gonna be called? I got one too. I just need to get on there. Ours is called Ohio Cannabis Growers, but it's it's not really just about me growing on that channel. That's really gonna be about everybody growing. So I'm not really worried about me being on there as more as having other people on there that want to show their grows as we kind of progress on and kind of come out of our shell of having to, hide what we're doing and all that kind of stuff. So just to be able to show that I'm growing something is kind of always, kind of blessing, but also makes me nervous all the time. But I got a grow update for you, as a matter of fact, and I'm going to be sharing that with you. I had to make some tough calls on a plant that I got from the farmers market, and I'm gonna tell y'all more about that later in a different video. But yeah, I had to make some tough calls. And I don't know if we're gonna have our first fatality in the tent or not, but I know that everything in my tent is still alive. I haven't had any fatalities. I am concerned about 2 plants in particular. One of them is a Forum Cookies that appears to be stunted in growth, and it's not dying, but it's just very, very severely stunted in its growth. It is the only plant in my tent that still looks like a seedling. Everything else in my tent is moving along. The 2 clones I got that the guy said were Ethos Genetics, they're doing all right. Now the thing with them is I need to transplant them into bigger pots. They're outgrowing the pots they're in really quickly, and that's what's going on with them. So I just need to get them transplanted, get them into some 5 gallons bags, and they'll probably be okay. They'll start doing their thing. I think they're going to explode, honestly, because they already have gotten bigger since I've gotten them. So for the most part, all the clones I've got from the farmers market, they're all alive. It's just one of them is on life support right now. And like I said, we'll talk about that in a different video. But yeah, I mean, so far I would say that learning, dialing in exactly the best watering method, that's probably been the most challenging thing for me. I want to ask the people who are here who grow how they feel about the wick system, like the AC Infinity auto water system, where you just basically fill the reservoir up with a gallon of water, and then it has a wick on the top, and you just set the wick up there, and then when you set the bag on top of the wick, somehow magically the roots can drink the fluid from that wick, and therefore you do not have to worry about watering your plants until you run out of the water in the base. And I want to know if anybody's using that system and what they think about it, because I'm thinking about trying it out. Don't cost but like $50 to get a couple bases, to try it out. So just curious to know if anybody's done it. Yeah, I know somebody, that's going 10-gallon bag. I feel like my situation is real simple. My tent is too small for what's going on right now. I mean, what's going on right now, it's cool. I mean, my tent is 7 foot tall, so heck, I can get them pretty tall in there. I mean, I can get them 3 or 4 feet tall in there, but it's going to be crowded, and that's why I'm going to get a bigger tent. I'm thinking about doing a 4x8, just double the size up, make it longer, but not wider. And I'm not sure what the height is on this tent I'm looking at, but basically the other thing is I want a tent where I can kind of just take everything I already got and and kind of just transition it over. I don't really want to have to spend the money on another HVAC system right now. I mean, I will in the future have two, but right now I just want to get cost-wise, get one HVAC system, and then let's get a bigger tent. Should still be all right. Then I got to get another circulation fan. That's another thing I got to purchase as well. I only got one, need two, and that should help me as well. So, you got to have circulation. Super critical to it growing really good. And I just now changed the way I have my fan set up. At first I just had it like on a certain speed, but now I got it like on maximum. Then it says like kind of create like a natural wind effect in there. So seen a little bit of a change on how everything's doing now that I've done that. So, but I'm still using this timer on my fan to let it rest every night. So I'm doing burner on my fan. But I know a lot of people say you should run it 24 hours. Probably in the summer, probably will have to run it. But we ain't there yet, so I don't want to burn up my motors already. Yeah, I think that's probably more like a good number, like 3 or 4 in it. So that's why I know my tent is gonna be crazy overcrowded soon. But what I'm also noticing too probably is that if I have to if I have 2 tents, that's gonna give me a lot of space. And if I don't really have to do a lot in the one tent, then that'll allow me to keep everything out there. It'll be enough room then for me to kind of like because I'll be 4x8 plus a 4x4. That's gonna give me a lot of space to grow for what I'm doing. And then I probably eventually have. I mean, the goal is to have 3 different tents, decent size. But right now I'm just trying to get by what I can. And these auto flowers, never grew none of them before, but I'm learning a lot about their nuances. And one thing I am interested to see is I talked to this one guy about these auto flowers. He said you can just take them outside, let them grow outside, and they'll be fine. They're pretty tough. Obviously you got to worry about pests and bugs and whatnot, but so they definitely grow outside just fine and actually get pretty big out there. So I'm thinking about trying an outside experiment just to see how one does out there, just so I can just see how it goes from my own, personal experience. But definitely new to the autoflower game and learned right away, like if you stress them out even a little bit, they'll start going into flower. And I'm like, wow, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. But that's what they do. And that's what happened to mine. Got stressed out a little bit and went into flower. Nothing I can do about it but just let it grow and let it go. And just see how it does. And see what I end up with. I'll probably end up with like enough for one joint, Maybe more, but I doubt it. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, see, I mean, I know how you feel. Like my spaces, I just need to get rid of some old furniture I've got and modernize to some more slimmer furniture for my shelf space and whatnot. That's what needs to happen. I need new shelves, and I kind of want everything up against the wall. And right now I've got a bunch of old computer desks down in there, and all of them need to come out of there. And I need to get some regular shelving, and it'll make everything much more efficient, organized, and free up a lot of extra space. And that's what needs to happen. And then I just need to get rid of some stuff right now. I still have some more stuff I need to get rid of that I'm not going to never probably use. You said you've been getting the yard ready. I mean, yeah. I mean, a lot of people are getting ready for trying the outside grow. Like I said, I'm not opposed to trying it just for fun and just to see what happens. But I got a Siberian Husky, and I don't want my Siberian Husky to eat my weed plant. So, like wherever I grow it at, it would have to be like 100% securely away from her and anybody else that might get to it. And I got a place where I could do that at, but I just don't like the location. So I'm looking at my options, and I just know that I can't just set it out back or plant it right in my backyard where most people would put it at, because I got a dog. The dog would go right at it and tear it up, because that's just what she does. So she's definitely a terrorized plants. So definitely wouldn't put it in my front yard. You might steal it. So they won't put it on my side yard either. Somebody would probably try to steal it there either. I got three. I have like three. Well, one, two, backyard, side. I have like 4 different yards in my property. So one of them is really like in between me and my neighbor's house, and then the other one is the bigger one. If I had a fence around that, man, I could probably grow a lot of stuff out there. But I don't have a fence around that area, so, and it's kind of like on the corner, so that wouldn't necessarily work out. Yeah, we're an hour and 24 minutes away from Cleveland, Ohio. If you're just now watching it, tune in. We're on this road trip to Cleveland, to the landing, and we always gotta like be careful with the title and everything, because now every time I go live or every time I post a video, YouTube is already putting limitations on it. Like, they put a limitation on my name. If I type in Mastermind, they're like age restricted. I'm like, man, wait a minute, how's that happen? Like, Mastermind is age restricted now? I mean, wow. Even if I don't put the word cannabis behind it, they're like age restricted. This goes against the community guideline. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm literally just talking in the car, driving down the road. What the hell are they talking about, man? This is making up stuff. You'd be like, man, these people, I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking sometimes. It's weird. But yeah, definitely do me a favor and tell everybody you know about the Ohio Cannabis Expo, and tell them that they better go to their dispensary and say, how come you ain't bought no Mastermind cannabis yet? How come I gotta drive all the way to another city to get Mastermind cannabis? Why aren't you ordering Mastermind cannabis? Because there's a bunch of dispensaries that ain't wanting to buy nothing from Mastermind. Y'all, we gotta get them on board. I mean, you know, when rec comes, and you don't want to be driving all the way to Cleveland to get Mastermind cannabis, because they're sold out everywhere else because they didn't put in the order, man. They got to put in orders now. You got to have some grape gas before it's gone. We're already working on some new strains, so it's getting ready to get more interesting. But right now, grape gas is the #1 strain in the Mastermind cannabis arsenal, and you would go ahead and get you some now. They on sale at Firelands, all locations. You get a good deal on them. It's real easy to do. They 510 thread, so they don't feel like any battery you already probably got laying around. I'm trying to get us some new batteries, so I'm working on that, see what we can do. And we're just trying to make sure we got it covered. Make sure you follow my new Instagram, Mastermind Cannabis. We got an Instagram page set up for us now too. So we're starting to build out everything. We're gonna have a Mastermind Cannabis Twitter page too. I just ain't got it up and running yet, but it should be good to go. And you know, something I want to talk about is this email that I got from the Department of Cannabis Control. And it's another opportunity for us to have public comment in the rulemaking process. Now, I mentioned this many times in many other videos, but we need to be part of the rulemaking process. And how do we become a part or be a part of the rulemaking process? Well, what we have to do is learn exactly how to submit comments to the government so that they won't ignore it. And that's something, how you should submit the comments, so when you submit comments, they won't be ignored. Because if you send them a bunch of rant and raving stuff, you pull your heart out into it, they're going to just ignore that because it may be sideways from what they're actually trying to get comments on. It's like, okay, the question is, how do you feel about dispensaries charging the entrance fee? Okay, you respond, man, I want to be able to grow more plants. I think having more plants is better than going to the dispensary. I want more plants. That's what we should do. I want more plants. That would be a response that would be ignored. What they wanted to know was, how do you feel about a dispensary charging the entrance fee? Now, this is just an example. So it's not any facts to what I'm saying about that. It's just an example. So the correct answer would be, I feel like an entry fee is absolutely absurd. I would never pay no money to go inside of a dispensary just to go in it. There's no way I would do it. If you do that, I'm out. I won't buy nothing from them. That would be the kind of comment that they would be looking for. That's the one that they're going to listen to. The one that basically tells them, we're going to lose money if we follow through with this. Okay? So I'm just giving you some examples of how these comment programs work and how that we can, actually have something to say. And if you think the rule doesn't apply to you, well, still, you should, if you have some feedback, you should still put it in there anyway. Like one, I can't name none of the ones on the page. It's so many of them. It's a long list that we'll have to go through. I mean, this is the longest comment thing they've sent, and it's full of stuff. So if you got that email, start reading it. But if you haven't, I can send it to you. Just email me at info@ohiocannabislive.com, and when I'm not driving around, we'll send you this email. And you can see all the different things that they're wanting public comment on, and it's a lot to process. And I mean, the government banks on the fact that you won't listen, you won't read, and that you won't comment. They're banking on that. And if you don't read it, you don't listen to it, you don't comment on it, this is why we have these stupid rules that we got right now. This is why we have the confusion that we have right now. Because whenever they do public comment, the average Ohio resident doesn't know how to do it properly. So anyone that does send in public comment, not everybody, but a lot of people will send in a bunch of stuff that is irrelevant to what the comments are about. And then it just gets thrown in the bin. They don't look at it. They don't even read it. So that's why it's important for us to make public comment, that we're doing that in a sense with understanding that our comments got to be point on of what they're asking about, or they're going to ignore it. And we have to make sure that we are not being nasty. I mean, sometimes people say things and they're not realizing the scale and scope of who's reading what they're saying. This is why it's extremely hard for me to comment on things. Sometimes people say things and you wonder why. Well, how come Mastermind didn't answer? Well, that's because I feel like sometimes, answering things, people are trying to bait you into saying things or get you wrapped up in the conversation that will otherwise try to use that against you or make you look bad. So you have to sometimes say, I'm just not going to answer that comment because that comment doesn't apply to me, or it just is inappropriate for me to respond. Or maybe I don't know the answer and I have to find it. But there's always a reason why. If you see a comment on there and you wonder why it's sitting there, and then maybe I just haven't seen it yet, because it is a lot of comments that come in and I don't get to see all of them at once, especially when I'm driving. And that's why we have moderators on here, and we have different people here to help us to make sure that anything that's really important, even if I don't see it in this live stream, make no mistake, the moderators will tell me about it later and say, by the way, and that'll let me know what I missed, if I missed anything that was of real importance that I just couldn't see. Because sometimes, I can see the screen and I can read what you guys are saying, but other times it's so tiny, I can't really see what it is. And then the sun is shining, so that kind of makes it hard too. Temperature wise, it's a lot colder than it was yesterday. It was warmer yesterday, but this wind now it's down to 40. It's 42. We're an hour and 15 minutes away from Cleveland, so we are definitely making significant road time progress getting there. Like I said, we are almost under an hour on our journey. We've been live streaming for 50 minutes. That's what it says, and we're trying to break this record here. Okay, we got a little more likes, but not as many as we should. We got 18 watchers, and so we still have to keep the conversation going. What's that Columbia care? You guys having a conversation I'm not in. Cause I'm like, Columbia care is nowhere near where I'm going, so y'all must feel me talking about something down south. Oh, I know what we need to talk about. Speaking of shaking and rattling, did y'all hear about this earthquake that just happened? It was an earthquake, and I think it was in New Jersey. It felt in multiple states. It was a 4.8 earthquake. That's been monitoring on the radio right now to see what's going on, because okay, it's just commercials right now. But nah, what they were saying is that they shut down 2 of the airports because they have to have the runway checked to make sure the runway is safe. And that was a big old pothole I thought I was gonna hit. And they're wondering what kind of damage that this earthquake has caused, because I mean it's very rare to get an earthquake in this region. And I'm hoping and praying that that's not the sign of a bigger earthquake, because typically what will happen is you'll have a little earthquake that's kind of big, and then the big one comes. I couldn't imagine if we had a big 7-point-something earthquake in America on the east part of the country. That would probably be a shocker and devastation, but also a wake-up call that the earth is not happy with us. We're not doing any justice by all the different things that we're doing with the fracking and the drilling and everything else we're doing to the earth. It's pushing back. The weather, everything is pushing back on us. It's like, I don't like this shit. I remember it used to be a cartoon now called Captain Planet, man. And it was like a little adventure thing, and they was trying to always save the planet. They took that right on off the air. Nobody wanted to hear that. They didn't want to save the planet, man. It was like them Captain Planet guys costing us money. Did I hear about the legislation and legalization in Hawaii? I haven't heard a lot of the details, but please fill us in. Love to listen. We got 27 watchers right now, so we're always up to get new information. We're about 81 miles away from Cleveland, 7 miles from Mansfield, where I will actually be on Sunday for the solar eclipse, which is on Monday. And well, it's probably too late to buy glasses on our website, because by the time we mail them to you now, you probably won't get them by Monday. So if you need some, I got a few of them with me now. If you come up to the dispensary, Atlantic, and get you together. Other than that, you will have to catch me in Mansfield. Like if you other than that, I don't know what to tell you. I guess I've waited too long, and so much happened. I thought I would have sold more by now, but I got a bunch of them left. So we still got plenty available, and hopefully you'll get yours if you don't have them already. But yeah, it's happening. And right now all I'm worried about is clouds. It's so cloudy. Every day it's been cloudy and gloomy and doomy. If we don't get rid of these clouds by Monday, it's not going to be too hot. It's not going to be so hot. See, we up to 19. We was up to 27 viewers. We're almost up to an hour. Yeah, they saying now on YouTube, you go live, you got to go live for at least 1 hour. Well, they just don't even care. Your video won't even really do very well. You're just like, wow, you got to go live for an hour. You got to, like, this is how we gotta do it. This is crazy. Put us back on the road here. Up to 25 watchers. Check out Sky. Again, we're headed to the landing in Cleveland, Ohio. And if you're new to the content, hit the like, subscribe button. The likes is going up a little bit, but we're still way behind. Got to get it up to like 100 likes. And if you're newly jumping in, I want to know where you're at, what's your location. I want to know what your favorite strain is. If you're medicating on something right now, I want you to put that down in the description of the video. And also, if you have any recommendations for any restaurants near the Cleveland landing location, please email those to me at info@ohiocannabislive.com. I'd love to know what your favorite restaurant is, and who knows, maybe I'll meet you there at the restaurant later. It is Friday night, right? Now, programming note, since I'm live right now, 420 live show will not happen today, because during that time I will actually be meeting people inside the landing dispensary. So instead of it being live at 420, we're live right now, and we'll be live again when I go to Huron tomorrow. So every time I go to one of these dispensaries now, depending on where it's at, I'll be going live, taking you on the ride there with me. And depending on how things are, the internet connection, everything, sometimes we'll make it all the way to the dispensary, and sometimes we might lose connections. It got shut down. So sad. Yeah, did you guys hear about what's going on in New York? Did y'all hear in New York they're talking about a judge basically ruled all the laws for their legal program are invalid. They basically try to say their laws are no longer legal. I mean, they're basically trying to say that the program in New York is so messed up. They said there's 2,000 illegal dispensary operators there. 2,000 illegal dispensary operators. And then all the legal ones ain't making no money because everybody's going to the illegal ones. And it's a disaster. But now a judge basically said the whole program is bullcrap. And he's basically put in an order to stop the whole program from being legit, which is kind of like crazy. And I can't remember what state it was that, basically recriminalized drugs. So you're just like, is this going to be a trend now where states are going to basically reverse their legalization of drugs or cannabis? It's going to be crazy. And Florida is on the path to legalize for recreational. So that'll be huge. I'm sure people will be driving down south in the winter to go to Florida if they legalize cannabis. That's going to change the game down there. I mean, right now they have medical down there, but just imagine if it's recreational there, you're talking about one heck of a vacation spot that you don't have to get on a boat to get to, you don't have to fly to get to. You could just drive to Florida and be down there by the ocean. Can you imagine being able to legally smoke weed on the beach? Probably not going to let us do that, but it still be legal there. That'd be pretty cool. Weed is legal in Ohio. And not just for medical. So I mean, we come a long way, and a lot of people didn't think it was going to happen, but here we are. And I mean, we almost have all the amenities that everybody else got. We just don't have pre-rolls yet, but I believe we'll end up getting them. And I think that'll be something that will be pretty interesting. Yeah, it looks like I'm getting in some traffic right now. Not doing so hot. We were moving along. We're 73 miles from Cleveland, going up between these mountains, so we might lose some cell service. I got a 5G phone, but I don't mean nothing. 5G ain't all that they say it's to be. But yeah, we're getting down there. We're coming up on 60 minutes on the stream, so we're past an hour on our stream, so it's been going on for an hour, and we're at 17 viewers and 12 likes. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're on your own property, I feel like you can make your own rules on your own property. I mean, it's your property, it's private property, so you kind of, if you got a nice place to go on your property, you can do whatever you want. But I know a lot of people that are renting and don't have nowhere to go, and that's an issue that needs to be solved. In Ohio, we got to figure out what consumption lounges are going to look like, or consumption stations, or consumption spaces. Are they going to start putting up places that are specifically outside businesses for cannabis users? That would be cool. Like, instead of having the tobacco patio, you had the tobacco on the weed patio. That would be sweet. That'd be a great way to build social communities, social networking. That'd be slick. But, I know that a bunch of people smoking inside of a building without it being properly HVAC'd. It's not good health-wise. It's hard to see, hard to breathe, makes your clothes smell horrible. So, like, that's the thing about cannabis consumption lounges. It's like, if the place is designed for that, and HVAC has been installed, air fresheners, and things of that nature, help minimize it just from being it's not necessarily the weed itself that is the problem. It's all the burning, those different papers, those blunts, those things like that. They leave smells, and they just get to your clothes. If you're in a closed space, you already know it. You get a wake and bake or something in the car somewhere. Then you get out, you go somewhere, you're gonna be toasty. You're gonna smell toasty. You're gonna smell like burnt weed. And some people don't like going around smelling like. Yeah, man, we're going in the dead zone, I guess. Party till 3 a.m. What y'all talking about? Weed is nice. Yeah. Weed is nice. I agree with that. It's great. 3-story building. Okay. Yeah, too bad we're in Ohio, man. It's a long drive to Chicago, man. They do a lot of stuff. I see a lot of events are happening in Illinois. Because they've been, they do stuff different in Illinois than we do here. The only thing I don't like about Illinois, man, their cannabis stuff is even more expensive than ours. I mean, they're charging $20 for a half a gram pre-roll. Like, imagine that. That's crazy. For a half a gram, $20. So that's gonna be something crazy. If we get pre-rolls, they're gonna say they gotta be $20 for half a gram. Ain't nobody gonna buy it, huh? I'm not paying $20 for half a gram. No way. I did there just because I wanted to try it, just an experimental reason, I wanted to know what their flower was like there, and I wanted to compare it to the flower here. So I definitely wanted to try it, and it definitely wasn't like no dramatic difference. Like, oh my God, it was night and day. It wasn't. It was more like afternoon time. So it definitely wasn't no significant change. Missouri was a little bit different, a little bit cheaper, different atmosphere when I went there. But I'm glad to be able to go out and try different markets and figure out what they're doing there. And honestly, Illinois would love to have our program that we got, probably because it's crappy there, and our pricing. They would probably love our pricing too. Up there, I mean, their pricing is stupid. It just don't make sense. We're crying over spilled milk, man. They're crying over They got some real problems out there, man. Man, I'm going up a mountain right now. My ears are popping. There's the satellite tower. Should be able to pick up a clear connection now. Yep, going up this mountain. I can hear myself talking and my ears are popping. We are now currently less than an hour away from Cleveland, going to the landing, do a vendor day there. I got a few more stickers left, so if you get there early, you might be able to get some stickers. I gotta order some more. They're about gone. And we ran out of buttons, so we'll have to order some more Mastermind Cannabis buttons. We'll get some more ordered. We just had to, try that printer out, that company out, and see how they did. And they did pretty good. Now, but the new company I got for the stickers is way better than the other company I've been using. And what I like about this company now is they individually cut all the stickers for you. That way you ain't got to cut them yourself. And they just look better, feel better. And, they're more have that decal feeling to them. And they're probably a little bit more durable, but it's just easier when everything's already cut for you, nice and neat. You got to cut it yourself, man. That could be time consuming right there. Cannabis consumption is allowed at the event. It's open to the public. This event does not accept refunds. Yeah, I don't know. That's some Chicago stuff you're talking about, right? Yeah. They're not allowing us to do that here in Ohio, not legally. So we got people here from Chicago. Where else everybody at? Somebody was here. We got somebody here from Hawaii. Let me see it. Let me get a location check. Where everybody tuning in from right now? You're not in Chicago, huh? Not from Chicago. Okay. I'm just trying to understand the conversation around the Chicago event scene. Okay, Lorain County. Okay. So you up there near Cleveland then. You're up north. You're near like Rise and everything, right? Bill Flynn. I don't know. You got to make up your mind, the Sesh, Sean. Okay. All right. You got any restaurant recommendations for me in Cleveland? Man, I've only been to Chicago one time. I was only there for minutes, just driving by. Didn't get to stay and look at anything or check anything out there. That sounds pretty amazing. Now, if I could take a train to Chicago from here, that would be fire. That would be really cool. I mean, I'm hoping that's going to be the future. Like, if you really just don't feel like driving, but you want to take a ride, I mean, I would take a train ride from Ohio to Chicago, wouldn't you? I think that'd be cool, especially if it was, where it had the sleeping quarters and we go sleep and dinner car, you get something to eat, kind of like in the movies. That would really be cool. But you saying you can get from Wisconsin to Chicago in 15 minutes? I ain't heard that. That sounds like Hyperloop or something. I mean, that sounds fast. I don't know. That's how you are. You going about what 500-600 miles an hour, right? I don't know, maybe faster than that. Oh, an hour and 15 minutes. Okay, all right. I was like 15 minutes. I'm like, that's a little bit pushing it. But even that's still pretty fast, though. That's still pretty fast. I mean, not to downplay it. I mean, see, we're passing Ashland, Ohio. And what's so crazy is I'm traveling, up here. Everywhere I'm going to be at is in the path of totality. But I'm not going to be right here. I'm going to drive back through Mansfield. And then I'm going to end up going back to Mansfield. So that's kind of like crazy. Hey, Jimmy. It says the speed limit is 70. So Jimmy, you on break? Okay. Man. Yeah, it says speed limit is 70 miles an hour. I'm 55 minutes away. So it's not too bad. So we're almost there though. And one thing I will say is when I did the live stream to I want to say it was either Landing Cincinnati or it's Landing Monroe. There were people who were watching this stream who came to the dispensary. So I know that there's probably people who will be on this stream that will end up showing up at the dispensary probably. But yeah, I need to get me some stuff, and I need y'all to check prices for me, find me some deals. You already know what I like. You know I like them runts and them layer cakes. You already know. Okay, yeah, I'll be there waiting on you, Jimmy. He said Ashland cops be tripping. You got me driving 65, man. The speed limit is 70. I'm probably out of Ashland by now. But yeah, this traffic is not bad at all right now for Friday. For it being this time of day, it's not that bad. And roads are clear. I mean, it's cloudy, but like I said, let's just get it all out of the system now. Get all these clouds now, and they'll get out of here over the weekend. Hopefully, we won't have snow or rain. I mean, that would just be terrible, man. Everybody spent all this time and money to go to this eclipse, and then it just snows and rains. I take it back. I am seeing snow right now, little light flurries, which is kind of weird because it's 41 degrees. Uh-oh. I remember yesterday I was driving, man, and I wasn't live, but then I started like, oh, this might be hell. Might be getting a little bit of freezing rain or hail cord. Uh-oh. Here we go. Storm chaser mode activated. Look at that, it's just bouncing off the car here, everybody. Like, it's not no major hell. This is just little baby stuff. This might be ice pellets. Look at it on the road. Oh, you probably can't see it. You probably can't even see it hitting the car yet. They're not big enough for you to see. It just sounds like rocks hitting my vehicle. I don't know, you might be able to hear it. The general manager at the landing is super cool. I'm gonna make sure to tell him you said that when I get there. Oh, you can't see them? Well, they're gone now. See, I drove out of it. But it's 41 though. I still like, Original Ohio Death Star, okay. I can't wait to try some of that. Don't you got something growing? Was that you that said you had something growing? I know somebody said they had some. Somebody told me they was charging $200 a clone for some original Ohio Death Star. I was like, man, I'm not paying $200 for no clone ever. Ever. I'm not doing it. I'm not. I just can't see it. Stuff, never be paying that much for something that grows out of nothing. People growing cannabis just in water, and it's doing just fine. Certain thing wasn't what I really had planned on doing, but I noticed something was happening. I had to take action really quickly. So it is what it is. Sometimes, you know, people give you a recommendation to do something and it ain't the right thing, and it just don't work to make things worse. That's kind of what happened in this situation here, and I'm hoping that the plant will do better. I mean, it is what it is. The best part about it was the clone was free. So won't be that lost, but hate to waste dirt. Trying to see if it'll make it, but it might. I used my secret weapon on it. I hit it with that great white. Dun, 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 dun. We're gonna see what happens. We can go to Blaze on the Metro Trail. Man, it's probably cold, man, and windy. It's 41 degrees outside, man. Mother Earth will smoke that joint faster than we can roll it. Gone. Yeah, it's too cold for me to be walking on no trails today, buddy. I can't see it. I got my heat on. It's nice and warm in here. Can somebody do me a favor and get an update on the earthquake situation? Find out. Just do a Google search. See what they're saying right now. Obviously, I can't read what they're saying because I'm driving. But let's just get an update on what's going on. Somebody post the information in there in case anybody has any concerns. I mean, I don't live there, but I am concerned there could be another earthquake. I am concerned about that, and I'm concerned that earthquake might be bigger, and that it's a potential that we could actually feel that earthquake here in Ohio. That is a concern. Concerning meaning that we just feel it, but I don't think Ohio's ready. Ohio's not built for no major earthquake. So if we were to have one of them earthquakes here like they had, we would definitely have infrastructure damage. I think 4.8 will probably break us too, because I don't know that there's ever been one that strong here that I can remember. Like, somebody check that on the internet, find out. But yeah, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything like that ever in Ohio. I could be wrong, but not that I'm aware of. Told myself today I was going to try to make sure I stay hydrated. You're cutting out too much. You're cutting out too much for me to help. You are in New Jersey. What? Are we having a connection problem? It could be the wind. It could be the weather. It could have been the earthquake messing with the internet. You know, it could be a whole kind of things. Is my audio all right? Can y'all hear me? Sound check. Connection check. I know sometimes it goes bad. It gets used to. Okay. What about the picture quality? You see the road? It should be a little bit less shaky than it was. I think there's about a 30-second delay on y'all's messages. All right, loud and clear. That's what I want to hear. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, so we're 47 minutes out. And, another thing I want to talk about on this stream, see, we've dropped a lot of viewers, probably because we lost signal, is recreational sales are coming in. There's some confusion. And I'm going to try my best to clear this up a little bit based on information that I have. So, what I'm being told by various sources is that in June, not September, in June, start the process to certify existing medical cannabis dispensaries to be able to sell recreational cannabis. The rumored date, and I am saying this is a rumor, and I don't deal in rumors, so I'm just joking when I say it's a rumor. It's kind of a joke. But the date that they're putting out there, it's been put out repeatedly, is June 7th, is when they're going to start the process. That does not mean that the sales will happen on June 7th. What it does mean, though, is that it is certainly possible that at least one or more dispensaries could be certified to sell recreational cannabis in June. Now, there's also a possibility that this won't happen, and let me explain to you why. First issue is the system, okay? The system that we use, which is tied to a program called ORS, is and always will be a program that was designed to monitor drug abuse and not designed specifically for cannabis. Basically, they made it work. Now, with the recreational situation and the elimination of the fee from the state for a medical cannabis patient, there's a new, push to reprogram and reevaluate how we should, have our system. So there's a strong chance that we can see a change for medical patients and how we check in, maybe for the better or maybe for the worse. I'm not really sure. But what I do know is that there is a concern about how things will be labeled, what information will be collected from a recreational user. And, the standard is pretty simple. It's usually name, address, and phone number. And this is an email. And that's pretty much what they collect on the intake form when you're a medical patient. I think the only difference will be, and this is where we're going to have these questions, is how is that information going to be protected from bad actors? How is that information protected in general? Like, with medical patients, it's protected under HIPAA law, but as a recreational user, it doesn't have that same blanket protection, which means that, the question goes, well, can a cop get behind you, run your license, and be able to determine that you are a cannabis user? That's my concern. Is that going to be an issue? Is somebody who has had a history of owning firearms going to receive a notice in the mail that says, we see that you recently made a purchase at a dispensary. We also see in our records here that you own firearms. And due to federal regulation, blah, 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 you can't have both. I mean, those are the kind of things that sound crazy. But you got to remember, we live in Ohio. And they would do crazy things. So this is why we have to make sure that we protect gun rights, employment rights, and housing rights. Because if we don't address these things now, well, when we get in the thick of things, nobody's going to have time to look at it or want to look at it. Before you know it, it'll be wintertime, Thanksgiving, it'll be Christmas. This year will be over. and we'll be in 2025 with no additional rights as cannabis consumers. And we're going to stop letting them call us users and start calling us consumers, because we are customers. We are giving them money and they're benefiting. The idea that we are drug users needs to go away. And we need to be equally noticed, just like anybody else going to buy something at the store. That we're just consumers or connoisseurs. You know, people who love this stuff, and this is what we live by. This is what gets us through our days. So this is why we have to really stay focused in on being a part of what I comment, public participation. And even if the policy or the rule doesn't necessarily suit what you're interested in, you should still respond in a way that gives you practice, so when something that you really feel very passionate about comes up, you will be polished in how to submit public comment. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the whole episode of the live stream on a Friday teaching you how to do public comments. I know it seems like something you can do. I don't need you to teach me how to comment. I do it all the time on the internet. That's not the same thing, because we're talking about you sending your name and information to a government entity, and first impressions matter. And so if you come in hot, heavy, and strong, and you put out the wrong vibe, that may end you from being recognized when other things come up for comments. So I'm just trying to make sure people understand the process and understand that the more people we can engage and encourage to comment about certain things, the more we can sway how these rules are drafted and created. And if they put out a rule and the public is vehemently against that rule, they won't do it. Great example was when they was going to cut the home grow limit. The public was against that, very strongly against that. And guess what? It didn't happen. They wanted to raise taxes on the cannabis. They were working real hard at raising taxes, but the public was against that. So guess what? It didn't happen. Doesn't mean it won't. But in the meantime, we have stalled them. We have put them off for now. And I've been trying to just tell everybody the fight isn't over. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep streaming every time I can stream, that I can bring myself to come on here and talk to you. I don't care if I'm driving from one city to another, but I'm going to come on here and I'm going to preach the information. I'm going to keep telling you why it's important for y'all to support the channel, for you to spread the word, and understand that it is no longer Ohio Cannabis Live isn't just me. It's everyone in Ohio who is a part of this family of cannabis consumers and connoisseurs, growers, business owners, lawyers, doctors, nurses. And we have to let them understand that cannabis may be the answer to so many things: cancer, chronic pain, opiate use, all kinds of stuff. This stuff can help in so many ways beyond the medical aspects. Even in industrial applications, hemp has been proven to be a very strong material and very durable. I mean, the art side of it as well. Talk about glass blowers. I mean, it's a whole culture and art all by itself, and it's beautiful. And I have stuff in my house I don't even want to use it. I just like looking at it because of its art, its design, its craftsmanship, its beauty. And that's just what it is when you have a really nice piece of glass. You don't use it very often. Maybe you do just because it needs to be used, because it's what it's for. But like, it's not your everyday thing. I mean, some people, I remember back in the day, all we did was smoke out of bongs. Now that's a special occasion. The bong get pulled out. We don't normally pull that stuff out. That's not what it's about all the time, you know. But at the same time, hey, now we got all these different things we can do. You don't just have to smoke it. Now you can eat it, you can bathe in it, you can cook with it, you can wash up in it. You can wear it. You can wear weed. You know, I mean, there's just so many things. I see a lot of fashion ideas coming out, and you know, now you can even buy a necklace that has weed around it. I'm sure you guys seen that, where you know you can buy a necklace and it's weed, and you know, I was like, wow, this is amazing. People wearing weed around their neck, looks real, feels real. Sometimes say it is real, but I just like, I don't know. Would you wear a weed bud around your neck and walk around with it like it's jewelry? Would you have a weed bud on your finger? Like, man, this is a 14-gram nug. Hey, imagine this guy's got a diamond-studded weed nug on his finger. That guy loves weed, right? Imagine that. I haven't seen no one do that. I've never seen anybody have a weed nug on their finger as a ring. It's jewelry. I've seen the necklace, but I haven't seen the ring yet. Or you can email me at info@ohiocannabislive@gmail.com. I mean, not Gmail, info@ohiocannabislive.com. The Gmail one still works too, so you can email me at that one as well. Both of them are good, but I'm trying to get everybody to switch over to the info one, because the other one, the Gmail, is cluttered. Man, I get so many emails in that one. So yeah, if it's really important, email me. It don't matter, but more or less, when you send me an email, make sure you put in the subject line something that's going to remind me of what the conversation was. Like, for example, on this one, you can put like Cleveland road trip. I'm going to know that you watch the stream, and the reason why I should look at your emails because it's about the road trip, for example. You know. Or if you got a question about the expo, well, put expo in the subject. So I know the question is about the expo. If it's about Mastermind Cannabis, put in Mastermind Cannabis. You know, that way I know, you know, what the question is about. And I can't thank my moderators enough for being on here with me, help me through, keep me honest. We got 15 current watchers, 15 likes. Okay, that's pretty balanced. Let's see if we can increase that. I don't know how many views we've gotten so far. I can't see that right now from my screen. Hopefully we've done great. On the other live stream the other day, we hit 500. We might even be up to 600 now. I haven't looked at it recently. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and make really nice thumbnails for all those videos, so they'll look real nice on the thumbnails. And I just haven't, you know, it's so busy doing stuff. I had to do a emergency surgery today, and I still don't know how it went. I mean, I won't know until probably tomorrow, the next day, how that went. So, like I said, I'll share more on that in a different video. So, stay tuned to figure out what happened with the garden. But everything else is looking really great. And shout out to my sponsor, Horticultural Lighting Group. I forgot to remind you, I got to keep telling everybody this. You want to get a grow light for a good price, you can use my code OCLGROW at hlg.com and save 25% off your purchase. Also, I'd like to announce that HLG will be at the Ohio Cannabis Expo. And that means that you can get lights at the Ohio Cannabis Expo. Yeah! Surprise! Didn't tell you that, did I? So as vendors start coming online, you know, we're going to have a variety of things there. And I'm looking forward to showing you what I've got people to bring there. And I'm trying to get some of these license holders to come. And in order for them to do that, we just got to make sure we show them that, you know, we're going to follow all the rules that are the rules, you know, and everybody knows that. And as long as we follow the rules, man, we have a really good time. And then, you know, everything leading up to May 3rd, you know, we're just going to be celebrating, you know, 420 and all that kind of stuff. You know, the eclipse, it's all the countdown to the expo. And so, like I said, tickets are on sale right now. So feel free to visit OhioCannabisExpo.com. Go ahead and put that in the comments for me, Lynette or Jimmy, if you don't mind. So people can go to that website and get their tickets. And we also have published the vendor guidelines. So if you go to our vendors page, which we're having some glitches on that too. But if you go to Ohio Cannabis Expo /vendors, I think it's vendors or vendors, one of the two, it'll take you to our guidelines. But even if you look at our application, it'll show you all the guidelines. Because I know a lot of people ask, well, what can we do? What can't we do? It's all in there. We got it all there. And just got to make sure we're compliant. And like I said, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. You know, gonna turn out in Canton and have a good time. And you know, hopefully after that we'll all link up and do something later. Members only type stuff. Okay, so I'm in historic Medina area, 33 minutes away from Cleveland's Landing. We're getting there. We are definitely getting there. And you can see all the way down the road down there. Traffic's still looking pretty good. But the road is getting bumpy again. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, if you search Ohio Cannabis Expo on Google, we're the #1 search result. So it's gonna come straight up, and it's gonna take you right to our events page where you can buy tickets. Now, a lot of people that host events, I just want to address this too. A lot of people that host these events, they use something called Eventbrite. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the reason why I don't use Eventbrite is because it's not necessary. I know how to host an event, know how to book tickets, built everything myself. Eventbrite is for people that don't know how to build websites and whatnot, and who, you know, and the other thing about them too is the Eventbrite people charge extra money and hold your money and tie it up and everything else, where we don't have that same problem. If you build everything yourself, you have more control over it. So, you know, one thing about me is I'm really funny about, you know, making things right, having control to resolve issues myself. And a good example would be like, you know, if I had to do something and I need to fix it right away, I don't have to call no bank or nothing like that. I can just fix it myself, and it's good to go. And even like if you buy something on my website, like if you want to get a new Mastermind shirt, they're on the website right now. Now, we got a couple other things we got to fix on our website there as well. So yeah, website stuff's a lot of work. And I have 12 websites right now. 12 websites. I'm gonna name some of them to you so you can write them down. OhioCannabisDeals.com. That's my website. OhioCannabisExpo.com. OhioCannabisLive.com. What's another one? OhioCannabisDispensaries.com. OhioMedicalCannabisGroup.com. Mastermind.com. MastermindCannabis.com. I might have already said that. So you can see how confusing it gets. I even got one for seeds. Oh, that's the funniest one, because I meant to do OhioCannabisSeeds.com, but somebody beat me to that one. So now mine is called OhioCanIBuySeeds.com. But instead of it being like BYI, it's BI. You know, like buy level. So like OhioCanIBuySeeds.com. That's not what I meant to do, but hey, it turned out. Now give me a shirt made OhioCanIBuySeeds.com. You know, the question is being asked: can I buy seeds? Yeah, you get. Not yet. I'm not selling seeds. Doesn't mean I won't in the future, though. So yes, a lot of people are always saying, "Hey, where can I get seeds at?" The question comes up a lot, and you know, there's a lot of answers to that. There's the internet. Go to a cannabis event. You know, sometimes you got people that got them out of bags. Then, you know, there's some people, you know, that, you know, they just give them away. And I'm just telling you, do not spend a lot of money on seeds your first time growing some stuff if you haven't started already. Don't get bamboozled into spending $50 for 3 seeds. Don't do it. Sorry, I just don't think that's a good value. I've seen some people sell some seeds and you got 40 of them. I mean, not 40 of them, 10 of them for $40. But just 3? Nah. And the reason, let me tell you why. So if you buy 3 seeds, and they sell them like this all the time. A lot of companies sell them 3 for $25, or I've seen all kind of prices. But let me just put it to you like this. If you only got 3 seeds, okay, and let's say you mess up 2, and now you only got 1 plant, you spend $50, and now you have 1 plant. And then, and if that plant dies, then you have no more of that strain, and you never even got to grow it. So the more the merrier. So what I'm saying is, when you buy seeds, make sure you're getting the bang for the buck. I mean, don't just spend a bunch of money on 3 seeds because they said it was cool and the package looks cool, all that kind of shit. Don't do it. You want to get as many seeds as you can. Now, when you get ready to say it's some special exotic thing, yeah, you're going to pay more for those. But that's after you've got everything dialed in, you've had a couple of harvests under your belt, you know what's going on. But I have a lot of people who are growing it like me for the first time. Not me growing it for the first time ever, but I'm just saying growing in a tent for the first time. And we're going through all the nuances of growing in a tent, whereas for me, I either grew it just in a room or I grew it outside. So I've never grown in a tent before. So in a sense, it's like I'm still a rookie, even though I'm not, but I'm a rookie on this tent thing. I'm a rookie on all these different gadgets and equipment that they done come out with in the last 10 years, 20 years that I had never used. But growing weed, I'm not a rookie. I just, didn't do it until it was legal. I wasn't worried about it. It wasn't something I wanted to do until it was legal. And again, I just take people on this journey with me, and I expect, it's like testing a rocket. Rockets blow up, so anything can still happen in my grow. It might be great right now, and a month from now I could be crying, man, I lost everything, we're starting from scratch, guys. I mean, it could happen. I like to set the expectation that it might happen. So if it does, you guys don't totally be him and say, man, Anthony, you still know what you're doing. Or you didn't listen to us. But, I learned one thing for sure about growing cannabis in a tent is that although you should listen to others' advice about different things, they can't really account for your environment. They're not in your house every day. They don't know when your girlfriend or your partner does laundry. They don't know what kind of water you're using per se. They're not there to help you test it. So their advice is speculative, meaning that, I'm taking into consideration, but I'm going to speculate a little bit about whether it really will be appropriate for me to do what you're recommending, unless you're saying I got the exact same setup, same bag, same dirt, same newts, same light, same humidity variables, then are similar, But if it's like so dramatically different, you're growing in a room and I'm growing in a tent, some of your advice might be helpful, but everything you're saying might not work. I had somebody tell me to do one thing and it almost killed everything in my tent, because from a standpoint, if I didn't have a tent, what they were saying made sense. But having a tent, it didn't make sense. I'll say that. So it's just one of them things you're like, well, or even people's, transplanting advice. Some people like, well, you should just go from the cup straight to the 5-gallon. Some people say you should have a transplant in between. It just depends on what your skill set is and what your budget. For me personally, if I look back on it, I really should have started. I would prefer starting in a 1-gallon, okay, not the solo cup, and I keep that 1-gallon to give the plant a lot of space to get really nice size, and then transport from the 1-gallon to the 5-gallon, and I'm done transplanting. Don't want to think about it no more. I think that is going to be how I do it next time. Although I like the solo cup, the concern and the issue I notice with solo cups is drainage. And if you don't do a good job of poking the holes or drilling the holes into the cup, you're going to run into a drainage issue, which will therefore suffocate the roots, therefore create overwatering, therefore shock, therefore gold leaves on the plant, therefore end up having to transplant the damn thing anyway. That's what happened to me. Oh, look at that. It's 42 degrees out here and it's snowing. That's wild. That's the Cleveland Lake effect, y'all. There it is. And the sun's shining. So I'm getting snow well above freezing. And the sun is shining. Wow. We're 23 minutes out from our destination when it first opened. So I'm interested to see how it's changed. And again, it's just very different to be a patient and to be a vendor of sorts, and be able to be inside a dispensary and not be worried about buying something. Even though I still be worried about buying stuff, because I like buying stuff. But, you know, when I'm here in the dispensary, it's more about making those connections with the people that are going to be trying your stuff out, and getting them to know that there's real people in this program who are just like, they're not some big rich investor. There are those rich investors, but there are people like me that are doing the same thing I'm doing. I'm not the only one who has a celebrity brand. There are a few others. Solomon, for example, has Group Sounds. Josh Pahe, remember Josh used to be on the show? He has one called Justice Vape, and there are a few other ones. There's a crewman, something to do with like the Columbus Crew or something like that. So there are several. Okay, I'm getting heavy wind. It's pushing me around a little bit. These snowflakes are getting bigger. Hey, what's the forecast for Cleveland today? Snow, huh? I hope y'all not getting no accumulation, man. This is wild. Yeah, that's what I've been doing right now, Bill, is, you know, training my plants for lower relative humidity than what, you know, just keep, you know, I done got to the point now where I'm not even running my humidifier anymore because I'm pretty happy with where my humidity is. You know, I'm staying somewhere between like 48 and 50. You know, if it gets to 60 or so, or even near that, then my intervention system will kick in and it'll lower it back down really quick within a few minutes. So that's one thing that I got going for me, is that I do have the intervention system with Vivison, and the intervention system is great when you're not home and you don't have time to keep checking the app every few minutes, knowing that the program and the system is going to hit, it's going to dial in the temperature and humidity that you want without you worrying about checking it every few minutes. And then, you know, it's just not going to stop until it hits that mark. So, you know, it may take a few minutes, it may take hours, it could take all day, but that intervention system is not going to kick off until it reaches whatever target you set it for. So, I mean, that in itself is very helpful, you know, because like I said, what I end up doing is I end up, you know, running some airflow through the tent, open the windows up on the tent, let air flow through. So when that HVAC kicks in to address the humidity, it will pull in fresh air back into the tent instead of it just recycling the same old air inside the tent. And that seems to be working really well as far as keeping the humidity where I want it to be and it not being crazy, where I feel like leaving the little windows open is actually hurting me more than it's helping me. It's just helping me with the airflow. But yeah, that's one thing I like about that tent is it does, really well with having those windows on the sides. But one thing though, I feel like I wish those windows was at the top, not the bottom, because look at them, you gotta get down. It's making me think my tent's upside down or something, but it's really not. But you would think they would put that on the other side. That's just how the tent's made. Yeah, well, it's actually warming up. We're up to 44 now. Strongsville, Ohio, Parma Heights, 18 minutes from the Cleveland Landing. We're almost there. LeBron James' son enters the NBA draft. I just got breaking news alert. So instead of letting me know about the earthquake, they're more worried about LeBron James' son entering the draft. Woohoo! That's the CNN for you, man. They gonna put that in there. Hey, we care. That's breaking news. It is interesting, but are you surprised? Not really. I'm not surprised at all. It seems like the logical thing that could happen. So yeah, we're coming up on the final leg of this particular mission here. As far as us getting here to this dispensary. And I'm hoping to see some of you there. I know Jimmy said he was coming, so I'll be looking forward to Jimmy. And I know you said you wasn't gonna be able to make it through Lynette, so I understand. I know you've been working on your house, and anybody else is coming up there, I will be there. I'll be checking my email to see if you guys sent me any dinner recommendations. I have breakfast for lunch, so should be all right until later. All right, fairgrounds, Baldwin Wallace University. Okay. Looks like I'm 17 minutes away from the dispensary. We're almost there. Okay, up to 20 viewers. I need some more like buttons. So, press the like, get us up to 20 likes before the stream's over. Hopefully we'll reach our goal of 1,000 views. Keep it going. Keep the stream jumping. And like I said, you guys, girls, ladies, gentlemen, we've been on a road trip here with Mastermind. And let's see. Okay, next exit is the airport. So, we're getting there. And it just seems like, whenever I live stream it, just goes faster for me. It's like I was just riding down the road in silence or even listening to music. It seems like this trip's taking forever. Because it's a little bit of a drive. That's for sure. Columbus is 2 hours. So yeah, okay, now we went up. Just look at that, 17 viewers and 17 likes. Okay. All right, we're making progress now. We're almost there. Now look at this, everyone. Now we're up to 45 degrees. Definitely still cloudy, but the sun is trying to come out, and that wind is still blowing pretty hard. So I don't know. It seems like it's pushing. I think we're going to get a really nice shot of downtown Cleveland coming up. But it's interesting that the temperature is 40, 45, 44 degrees, and we're seeing ice pellets, and we're seeing snow. It's like, how is that possible when, this is because the air is colder above us than it is below us. and stuff's freezing up there and falling down from the sky and then melt when it gets down here. Alright. Ken Gainley, Honda North Homestead. The 1 volume deal. I don't know what that means. The number 1 volume deal. I don't know. Anybody from Cleveland know what he's talking about? It doesn't make any sense. Some nice little trees coming up here on the right hand side. I just feel like they added some new trees or something. I don't know. When I was driving last time up here, I don't remember seeing all these trees. I mean, I remember seeing the trees. I just don't remember seeing all the colors, all the fern, all the white color. I feel like Ohio's been out running around planting more trees to, you know, replace ones that were maybe damaged. Up Cleveland Corporation limit, actually in Cleveland. All right. Yes, we are in Cleveland. Gonna make it there just time. But yeah, they're still holding steady at 44 degrees. If you're still medicating on something, let me know in the comments what you're medicating on. Currently 17 watchers. 17 people in the car with me right now. We're on a road trip that we've arrived in the city of Cleveland, Ohio, to do education about Mastermind Cannabis at the Landing, which is a dispensary that's owned by Fireland Scientifics. If many of you did not know this, I'll give you a little history. Fireland Scientifics was one of the first growers in the medical program, and that was one of the first products I purchased was actually cultivated by Fireland Scientifics. Fireland Scientifics is also the first company in the medical program to produce rosin, and for a long time remained one of the few companies that actually offered rosin. Still offers rosin to this day. Fireland's facility is located in Huron, Ohio. I'll be there tomorrow. They actually have a dispensary that is right in front of the facility where they grow the Fireland's products. My favorite strain in the Fireland Scientific lineup is Northern Lights. Northern Lights, the first strain that I ever tried from the medical program from Fireland Scientifics. Northern Lights has been known to be an indica or indica hybrid. It definitely makes you sleepy if it's the real deal, and it definitely will sit you down. That's for sure. Don't expect to get nothing done if you try Northern Lights. Now, if I had to name any other strains I liked from those, from Firelands, that would be Snowball S1 and Kim OG. Both of those definitely for real. Yeah. Yep, for real. If you can find them. Now, I'd like to know, again, what your favorite strain is in the program. Doesn't necessarily have to be from Fireland Scientifics, but if you have a favorite Fireland Scientific strain or product, I'd like to know what that is in the comments. And if you like rosin, I'd like to know what your favorite rosin strain is, or favorite rosin product is, and whether that's something that's made in the dispensaries or something you pressed out yourself. Doesn't matter. Just curious to know. And looks like we're down to 16 viewers, 17. We are in the Lindale Corporation limit. We're 10 minutes away from the Fireland Scientific Dispensary. Temperature is holding steady at 44 degrees. Traffic here in Cleveland appears to be light. I've seen very little signs of flooding. Speed limit just dropped. To 60 miles an hour. Never quits, huh? Okay. I'm not sure I know what that means. Yeah, some of these signs here are kind of strange. I don't know what they're talking about. I always feel when I come here to Cleveland, it's always very unique and different. Reminds me of older times in a lot of ways. Cleveland reminds me a lot of Detroit. I see a lot of things that you know, in the early days, probably, you know, were just kind of a standard in places like Cleveland and Detroit. But if you look at some of the way things are built in Cleveland and look at some of the way things are built in Detroit, they're almost identically the same. The neighborhood structures and everything, the housing, all that is still very reminiscent of the early and late. So yeah, we are here. And you know, if you have any interesting facts about Cleveland you would like to share because you live here or you're from the area, feel free to share that information in the comments. I'm always interested to learn more about these places I visit. Obviously, I'm not from Cleveland, but I have been here many, many times recently. A lot of them because of my health. I just spent a lot of visits at the Cleveland Clinic until they became adamantly against my medical cannabis use. Began to tell me that the reason why I was having so many health problems was because I was using cannabis. And when that happened, y'all already know me, and I was like, bye-bye. Okay. The Cleveland Zoo, Metro Parks. Okay, are we near the zoo? All right. I'm 8 minutes away from my location. All right, so yeah, we're getting ready to get off this highway. So I suspect some interesting scenery is about to be happening. Because it's always very interesting when I get up here to Cleveland. I always see very interesting things. I love old buildings. I love old structures. I'm a big building and history guy. I love history. I love old stuff. I love things that are made in America, too. I collect things at home. One day I'm going to let you guys see my collection of antiques. It's pretty cool what I have. It's not like American Pickers, but some of the stuff I've got has been on American Pickers. And, you know, if any of y'all ever watched American Pickers, when it first came out and they showed the intro, there was a light that they were passing each other. I can't remember if it was Frank handed the mic or vice versa. But I have one of those lights. Somebody's getting pulled over. It's because the speed limit is only 60 out here. Yeah, that was an interesting little barrier thing they made there. Okay, it was telling me to take exit something. I don't see that exit sign nowhere yet. Let's see. Is that it right there? There it is. Alright. And then you can see a little shopping. I don't know if you saw all this smoke and all the industrial stuff. It's pretty interesting. Oh no, a traffic circle. I hate traffic circles. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Uh-oh, shit. It's confusing. Alright. So if none of you've ever seen this industrial stuff going on down here, they have something like this in Pittsburgh as well. But I just want you to take note of all this stuff that is going up into the atmosphere right now. And just think about it, like, look at this place, man. Look how old it is. And all that pollution that is going into our atmosphere. They're worried about a train derailment. But look at this place. Look at it. Look at all the smoke billowing out, chemical air. It's going up. I mean, I don't even know what's going on over there. I'm assuming that's some kind of refinery maybe, but I mean, these trains ain't moving, right? They're not moving. So, you know, you get down there in these places and you think, wow, you know, there's so much stuff going on. See how fast that was about to be an accident, man, because he was in a hurry to get out of there. Check out these two pieces of stonework right here. I'm sure that's probably part of an old bridge that no longer exists. So yeah, we're 4 minutes away from our location. And so, like I said, this area is definitely industrial. Um, I'm not entirely sure of the story as to why Firelands chose this particular area for the dispensary, but it is definitely interesting. And if you like interesting things, old buildings and old structures, and old train cars, and you like big buildings and things like that, bridges, you'll love coming down here because it's very interesting and it's very visual. You just think about what was going on in this same area 100 years ago, and a lot of this stuff just sitting here has probably been here 100 years. Just the land, the road, the layout. Now we're going up under this massive bridge. It's a good thing I didn't have to wash my car after. But yeah, look at this building in front of me. It's very interesting. Rise above. I love it. I love that. That's a nice little thing. I don't know what it is. It's Imperial Materials. But yeah, that's a nice mural there. I like that. That's real nice. Some interesting vehicles parked outside. And there's downtown Cleveland ahead of us. In the haze of the dust and the dirt, there's the city, and you can't probably see the neighborhood up on the bank there. But there's neighborhood around here. It's kind of like up on the hill though. We're kind of below that. So yeah, we are down here in Cleveland, the landing. We have landed. I've been waiting to say that. But yeah, this is definitely. They said they was having breakfast and lunch there. I don't know about that. I think I'll pass. This is very interesting. Then up on this hill, brand new buildings. Brand spanking new buildings. So this is definitely an area that's going to change because of where it's at. I can see this all being redeveloped someday soon into something else. It's definitely interesting. And then, like I said, you're right here by downtown. So you can see the city. I love being able to see the city without having to go down there. I hate downtown traffics. Oh, now this is going to be an interesting piece of scenery. Like I said, you get to see this bridge I'm going over, and over the water. You definitely got, if you get down here, you got to know what you're doing, where you're going. Because there's a lot of stuff down here. It's very interesting. Iron City. That's what they call it. The Iron City car. And I believe it. There's a lot of iron probably down here. And there it is. On the left-hand side, the landing. And there's the city of Cleveland. So, the view is spectacular. So, yeah, there's a dispensary right there. You can see it. But the view of the city is pretty great. Yeah, we have arrived. Well, I thank all of y'all for riding down here with me. And it was a ride, wasn't it? We have arrived here. Hey, now I see something that's interesting. Dash Mart, by DoorDash. That's interesting. That's right next door. I've never heard of it. But yeah, we can look at downtown and zoom in. Yeah, he arrived at the weed destination. That is absolutely right. Well, I'm gonna go check in here with everybody. But I see we got 27 people watching. So before y'all go, let me know where you're at, what you're medicating on. Hit that like button. All right, well, I thank all y'all for riding with me, and I will see y'all here in a few. Peace.